Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Capital City Sports Network, where this afternoon from the Knoxville Civic Coliseum, Game 2 between the University of South Carolina Gamecocks and the Tennessee Volunteers. Thanks so much for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dillon Clark. The Gamecocks are looking to bounce back in a big way here against a Tennessee squad that more or less had their way with the Gamecocks 48 hours ago. The Gamecocks going into this road trip 7-0 on the season. Tennessee hands them their first loss on Friday night, and early into Saturday morning. Game time did not start until a little after 11:30. We got done around 2:30. It was quite the night, but by the time the dust had cleared and the ice was cut at the end of the game, Tennessee on top, 6-2. They get the win over South Carolina. Tennessee's first SEC win of the season. They are 1-2-0 in conference play. The Gamecocks 5-1-0. That was their first conference loss, their first loss to anyone so far this season. So the Gamecocks looking to bounce back in a big way here. Head coach Alan Searwatt has completely shuffled the lines here. Everybody's with someone new here tonight. Ben Smith finds himself on the top line with Ronan, Egan, and Owen Thomas on the right side. The defensive pairings have been shuffled a little bit. Expect Ryan Mcgowan to start off with Tyler Oakley. And between the pipes tonight for the Gamecocks, Liam Gormley, 3-0 on the season, 2.33 goals against average, one shutout to his credit. And don't be surprised if Tennessee goes with Brandon Shaw again. Chemical engineering major out of Hendersonville, Tennessee, stopped 47 of 49 Gamecock shots that came his way on Friday night. Good enough for a .959 save percentage, and that's pretty darn good. So the Gamecocks will have to rely on their goaltending because Shaw is expected to be as good or better than he was on Friday night. And for South Carolina, their lone pair of goals was scored by the freshman out of Manhattan, Julian Reese. Gives him his team-leading 8th and 9th goals on the season. He passes Cam Mecca for that leader in goal spot. Mecca, again, did not make the trip. Had a test on Friday night. Caused him to not be able to be with us here. So, Cam, we hope you did well on that test. Wish you could be here with the team. But so the Gamecocks looking to find their way without their leader. Alternate captains Ronan, Egan, and Ben Smith expected to step up in a big way here without Cam Mecca. Warm-ups winding down here. We'll step aside and get ourselves all straightened out. We'll sing the anthem. Well, we won't. Someone will. And when we come back, we will have the first period of the second game. South Carolina and the Tennessee Volunteers. It's going to be a good one. Some Sunday afternoon hockey. Stay with us here on the Capital City Sports Network, and it is all presented by SGTV. All right, welcome back to the Capital City Sports Network. Just a few moments away from puck drop here. Game 2, South Carolina and the University of Tennessee. As we expected, it's just been announced Brandon Shaw between the pipes for Tennessee. Volunteers wearing their alternate gray uniforms this afternoon. The orange and white checkerboard across the shoulders, black pants, and they've got some, the socks are pretty interesting. Let me tell you, they got the checkerboard pattern on the socks, and they got the Knoxville skyline kind of sublimated on there in a darker gray. Words can only do it so much justice, but some solid alternate uniforms here from Tennessee. And for South Carolina, they go with their road whites. Garnet around the shoulders on the numbers, the garnet and black piping across the elbows and waist. Black pants, white socks that look like the jerseys. We are just about ready to go here. Liam Gormley in the net for South Carolina. Nick Peters and Joe Caleca on the back end. Ronan, Egan, Owen Thomas on the right, Ben Smith on the left wing. We are down and underway. Thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. Off the center ice faceoff, it drifts back into the South Carolina zone. Off the far side boards, Coleg risks this one out towards center. It's sent back into the Gamecock zone, and now it's carried on and ahead by Owen Thomas. Egan sends one in the slot for Ben Smith there. That one broken up nicely, this time by Max Galpin. He wore 64 on Friday night. He's wearing 19 tonight. Kenny Richter wore 55 on Friday. He's wearing 20 tonight. So new uniforms bring new numbers for the Volunteers, at least in this case. Puck from the neutral zone, fired back in, stopped on the backhand by Nick Peters on the far sideboards. He's going to take this one into open ice at center. Peters sidesteps a man, dishes this one off for Ian Powderly fresh from the bench. Steps in over the line and gets immediately hit there. Solid physical check there by Josh Main. Off the breakout now with some speed down the left side. Quick shot there, redirected off the skate of Hunter Jackal. Now out of the corner, spinning this one back down low. Tennessee controls from behind the Gamecock net. This one swatted up and out of the air. Taken out on the backhand there by Hunter Jackal. And now back through center, Julian Reese, 2 goals last night across for Powderly. A quick shot and a big save there by the blocker of Brandon Shaw. 1 for 1 so far tonight. Reese is sharp from a shot angle. And now that one knocked down in front, played off the stanchion there by the Volunteers, and they come back with some speed. Far side across there. Another play with a new number we don't exactly have the identity of. We'll work on that yet. He's wearing number 18 tonight. Maybe Michael Curtis. We'll keep you updated, but a 2-on-1 back the other way. Reese down the right side with Powderly. Sends one on net there, and Shaw able to get the pad down. Seals the ice down low, makes the save. First 2 shots on goal registered by South Carolina. First 2 saves registered there by Brandon Shaw. And immediately you see the Gamecocks coming out with more ferocity and control. That loss on Friday night, that definitely hurt. So the Gamecocks looking to exact a little revenge here on Sunday afternoon. Right around in the slot, Chad Lazine gets bulldozed after an offensive zone faceoff. And the puck drifts all the way back out to center, rifled back in there by Ryan Mcgowan. Back underneath for Tennessee. Out off the sideboards, played up there off the stick of Danny Brooker. Brooker controls, sends this one out to the open Harry Cadmus. It's redirected back in, but the Gamecocks take over after a missed pass. Hawkinson from his own blue line. Jousts there along the far side boards with a couple of Volunteers. Tyler Oakley comes in to help him out, as does Luke Roodman. 17:55 to go. A scoreless hockey game so far in this one as Chad Lazine bops this one back out towards center, and racing on is Luke Roodman. Right side shot, save made by Shaw on the rebound. Taken away there from Cory Hawkinson. Hawkinson gets in after it behind the goal, though, taking a task there by 2 Volunteers, which allows Luke Roodman to get the puck. Centering pass intended there from Mcgowan, broken up. Mcgowan gets a shot off. It's redirected and ends up in the near side corner where the Volunteers can control. Play this one up the boards. They go pitch and catch there with Luke Roodman, and it rolls all the way back out to the point in Ryan Mcgowan, and even past him. So coming back to play this one in the Gamecock zone down to our right. Gamecocks moving right to left to start this game is Tyler Oakley. And an icing call there. Gamecocks hollering for an interference call. Oakley trying that zone exit pass there intended for Rob Lawrence. He was interfered with, at least according to Alan Sirois, in the neutral zone, so the puck goes all the way down for icing. Rob Lawrence makes up 1/3 of this 4th line for South Carolina, out there with Matt Owen and Alex Siegfried. Rob Lawrence played some time in the USPHL with the Atlanta Junior Knights. He spent that time with Owen Thomas, 2 rookies this year, already a little familiar with each other. Similar situation as Ronan, Egan, and Mike Bolger playing with the Valley Forge Minutemen. As Oakley sends this one off the back end for Mcgowan, he flips this one all the way out of Gamecock territory, down for another icing. Gamecocks will argue that Lawrence beat him to that puck, but officials say that Josh Main won the foot race, and so the faceoff comes all the way back down to our right. Ronan Egan wearing the A tonight, as he does every night this season for the Gamecocks. But in a conversation with Mike Bolger, he actually wore the A back in Valley Forge, and Ronan did not. So the freshman has a little something there over his sophomore counterpart, although I'm sure he wouldn't exactly say that to Ronan's face had he been around. Defensive zone draw here, won by the Gamecocks. They'll battle for it. Finally, it squirts back, and the Volunteers actually take over. They'll work this one back down below the goal line. Crunch there in the corner. Tyler Oakley sends a man down, and now pass in front, knocked down. Taken onto the backside. Point, Richter. Long shot, save made by Gormley. The puck's underneath somewhere. He gets a jab at it, and he may have made a second stop, too. The puck ends up in behind the goal, finally taken back out by Oakley, and gets it all the way off the boards. Icing, forthcoming, no, but Rob Lawrence does beat this one out this time. And he gets taken into the boards for it. Now he's being held a little bit there in the corner. Lawrence can't get the puck, but on the ice now is Ronan Egan. Egan doubled up on now by two Volunteers. Ben Smith in there with him. Josh Main makes sure he doesn't have an easy time getting that puck. Now they flick it out towards center ice, back towards Nick Peters. Out off the boards for Ben Smith, and now it's turned over and a delayed offside, so Tennessee has to touch up. They recontrol the puck after a turnover from Nick Peters, though. Down the right side. Quick shot. Gormley punches it out with the blocker. Brilliant save there on Drew King. Liam Gormley keeps us scoreless here. 15:46 to go in the first period here from Knoxville. Ben Smith sends one across for Owen Thomas. Now underneath the goal, Shaw stops this one in behind the net. Ben Smith, the forechecker, tries to create some havoc in behind the Tennessee net, and he does. Centering pass intended there for Ronan Egan goes too far. And now coming back is Max Galpin, wearing 19 tonight. Down the left wing, it's a right-handed shot towards the net there, redirected by Drew King, and it goes just wide. And knocked down on this play, Ronan Egan. Back to his feet now, and he's got the puck. Tries to send this one out towards center. Owen Thomas, 2-on-1 develops. Thomas with Peters, sends one across for Peters. Right around in front, and Shaw makes two big saves. A rebound, they score! Owen Thomas cashes in on the rebound. The Gamecocks strike first. 1-0 South Carolina. A scramble of bodies in front. It looked like Owen Thomas, maybe Ronan Egan getting the last touch on that one. All five Gamecocks crashing the net on that play. Either way, puck ends up in the back of the net, and a much more favorable start to this one for the Gamecocks. Brendan Shaw's been exemplary so far in this one, but he's the goaltender who has buckled first. Less than 5 minutes into this one. And so from center ice, we will wait from the official word from the penalty box to give you the official goal score as the Gamecocks bring this one into offensive territory once more. Colin Burke shovels this one in on the backhand, although it's rejected and sent all the way back out at center ice. Bolger taken down, no call. Play continues. Burke sends this one through. Thomas gets a goal right in front. They score again. It's Julian Reese. We were listening for the goal. The Gamecocks sent one cross crease. Reese taps it home, his third goal in 2 games. Number 10 on the season for the rookie from Manhattan. Gamecocks ahead 2-0. They've given Hunter Jackal the assist on the Owen Thomas goal. Thomas is 7th on the year. And less than 30 seconds later, Gamecocks add another one. So from center ice with a 2-0 lead, 14:38 to go here in this first period. It's another chance in front for Hawkinson. From the goal line, sends that one off the outside of the cage. Hawkinson gets it back in the far side corner. He's going to have to battle with Kenny Richter for this one. Hawkinson taking that puck away from, and they'll send that one all the way back down from Mcgowan. Mike Bolger and Hunter Jackal again. And they keep calling tackle, but Hunter Jackal. So Bolger gets the helper on the Reese goal. Jackal gets his second. And a 2-0 score here for South Carolina. At center ice, Richter sends this one across now for Tennessee. Taken back now, exchanged off there for now, anonymous number 18. Chad Lazine sends this one in. It's rejected and sent back out. Tennessee's going to take this one at the Gamecock blue line. They'll send this one into the slot area. Big chance there. Steered into the corner. Nice stick work there by the goaltender Gormley. Pinching down is Richter. Can't hang on to it. And now a 3-on-1, 4-on-1 develops for South Carolina. Roodman down the right side. Tries to send one across. Another secondary opportunity. And now a brawl right in front after Shaw covers this one up. Roodman, Hawkinson in there jousting with Josh Main. And now Chad Lazine's not having any more of this. One of the Volunteers has lost a helmet. Ryan Mcgowan's not taking any more. Chad Lazine has to be taken away. McGowan's looking to get himself a penalty. Some slashes there, a couple of cross checks right around in front. Mcgowan somehow escapes without any sort of penalty, at least for the moment. Luke Roodman taken to the box, along with Chad Lazine. In there for Tennessee will be Josh Main. And now they get Mcgowan. Yeah, it was only a matter of time until Mcgowan found himself in the penalty box. So 13:46 to go in the first period. South Carolina up 2-0. 3 Gamecocks in the penalty box, 2 Volunteers. And so, no love lost between these two. Danny Brooker may be the other Volunteer in there. The penalty box doors or penalty box glass is actually kind of fogged up, so a little difficult to see. But so as we write in 3 USC penalties and 2 for Tennessee. There were 45 combined penalty minutes in Friday night's contest, 27 by Tennessee, 22 by South Carolina. The penalties would be dead even if it was not for that 5-minute major to Danny Brooker. So Mcgowan in the box, along with some of his friends. Ronan Egan had a conversation with the official there to try and sort out what's going to go on. We will see the personnel in a few moments at least. For the moment, it looks like your standard run-of-the-mill power play here. 5-on-3. Tennessee on the man advantage for 2 minutes. Mcgowan has the lone penalty on the board. The other Miners will offset. Roodman in the box as well. So the Gamecocks clear this one right off the bat. Shaw back to play this one in behind his own net. And now back again here on the power play breakout taken by someone for Tennessee wearing number 2. We didn't have a number 2 on Friday night either. So we've got some stuff to figure out for you, but we can do it. Short-handed now, Nick Peters taps this one back, and shots on goal right now, 9-4 in favor of the Gamecocks as Tennessee breaks this one out of their own zone. Sent back in, delayed icing called here, and now the faceoff will come all the way back down to our left.
Gamecocks, number 20, Luke Ronan, 2 minutes for roughing. Number 8, Chad Lazine, 2 minutes for roughing. Number 4, Ryan Mcgowan, 2 minutes for roughing, and 2 minutes for slashing. All penalties at 6:14 in the first period. Giving your Volunteers the power play.
Well, they've listed off the USC penalties there. Mcgowan, Roodman, and Lazine. Mcgowan gets a double minor for a rough and a slash. Roodman and Lazine in there for a rough. So 1:19 to go here on this Tennessee power play. We still don't know who's in the box there for the Volunteers besides Josh Main. Don't know the reason for it either, but the first power play opportunity here for Tennessee. Neither team scored on the man advantage. Again, we said 45 combined penalty minutes, and still no one could find the back of the net on the power play. One of the more interesting stats from last night, aside from the 49 shots on goal the Gamecocks could register. But as Tennessee takes this one from the offensive zone, a point shot knocked down, a great blocker save there by the goaltender Liam Gormley rather. Another point shot and another save there by Gormley. He's got to lunge over to his left, get the glove on this one. Another face-off here with 47 seconds to go on Ryan Mcgowan's second penalty. Whether it is the rough or the slash that they've put on the board, we are not entirely sure. 4 minutes for Mcgowan, 2 for Roodman and Lazine, 2 for Josh Main and the other anonymous Volunteer in the penalty box. Across to the center point. Tennessee has it. Long shot knocked down in front. Nice block by Coleg. A follow-up chance goes wide. And now racing across to get this one will be Blake Sledge. From the point, Richter walks, sends one down low for Sledge. Right wing, cross-ice pass shut down there by Oakley. And now a breakaway, short-handed for Julian Reese down the left side. Shoots and scores! Julian Reese, 4 goals in 2 games, 3 so far this afternoon for South Carolina. It's a short-handed goal. Gamecocks 3, Volunteers nothing. So much is happening all at once. We're trying to write this stuff down. Reese's second shorthanded goal of the campaign, his 11th goal on the season. So the Gamecocks get their shorthanded goal here off the center ice draw. Breakout pass for Ben Smith. And they'll try to advance this one back into the Tennessee zone. It pops all the way back up in the air. Reese's goal comes unassisted. 12:09 left to go in this period. Now, after that play, 11:52 remain. So the special teams make an appearance here on the score sheet, although not the appearance we had perhaps intended, or expected, rather. And it has been confirmed Michael Curtis is the man wearing number 19 tonight for the Volunteers. Our suspicions were right. So an offensive zone faceoff forthcoming for South Carolina. Short-handed. Kenny Richter takes this one off the Tennessee faceoff win. And the breakout pass taken up and out now, this time by Blake Sledge. Full strength now as Mcgowan is out of the box. The other four players will have to wait. Now a shot off the crossbar there. Quick wrister there off the stick of, again, that anonymous number 18. A quick shot upstairs there. We'll try to figure his name out in the intermission. Nick Peters shovels this one out as Liam Gormley gives his crossbar a loving tap. And now the Volunteers take over from their own zone. Ben Smith in on the forecheck. He creates a turnover. Now Thomas down low for Smith. The cross for Egan in front. Back for Smith. Diving. He gets he's able to draw a penalty. Tennessee touches this one up. Ben Smith, he was lunging towards the goal. They'll get a tripping minor. So the Gamecocks go back to the power play. The four men that had to stay in there come back out. But now one Volunteer heads back in. It's going to be Blake Sledge. Smith got that trip from behind, and he was diving out. He looked like he got his glove on the puck as he was falling. And you could tell he wanted to bat the puck into the net, but obviously that would not have counted. Would have been waved off immediately. Almost a brilliant play for Ben Smith, but at this point I think he's looking to score any way he can. 3 assists so far this season for Ben Smith out of Scituate, Massachusetts. No goals, 7 and 9 for 16 points back in 2018-19. So he's gonna get going soon. Power play now for South Carolina. Oakley from the point sends this one back down. Again, Gamecocks moving right to left in this first period. They'll battle for it, and Tennessee able to clear all the way out and down. Taken now by Tyler Oakley. And the Gamecocks break it out now. It's Cory Hawkinson. Down the right side. Stick handles away from man. Backhands this one out to Ronan Egan. Plays pitch and catch with Owen Thomas. Egan sends this one down now for Cory Hawkinson. Egan, Thomas, Hawkinson, Powderly, and Oakley. The 5 out there for South Carolina. Ian Powderly, the only left-handed shot. Now he's got the puck in front. Egan scores on an open net. A broken play. Ronan Egan's got some extra words for one of the Volunteers as the Gamecocks celebrate goal number 4 of the afternoon. Their first power play goal.
I'm embarrassed. I know the team is embarrassed.
Oh, baby.
I'm blaming it on everybody.
Oh, baby.
In the football facility. You guys haven't earned the right to be over there. You live like kings. I don't know who you think.
So they're playing something. I'm not entirely sure if you could hear that. An anti-Gamecock speech coming over the PA system. I can't tell who. This is an interview after a football game. I know that much. And I think the official's having some words for whoever put that one on. So Ronan Egan off the power play. Shaking things up here from Knoxville. Goal number 6 on the season for Egan. And we restart. 10 minutes left here the first period. 11 shots on goal for South Carolina. 4 of them have found the back of the net, and Ronan Egan's in the penalty box. So power play back now for Tennessee. They'll control in the Gamecock zone, patrolling the blue line now. Point shot sent back down low. A bouncer in the boards taken there by Kenny Richter. He's got Joe Colega to contend with. Richter goes down. Play continues as Peters advances the puck on for Owen. Now it's held in, sent across. Hawkinson getting the lone assist on the Ronan Egan goal as Tennessee has to break this one out of their own zone. And now Tennessee's got the offensive zone of attack here, and Coleg is going to take a penalty for tripping. 50-50 puck there. Caleca contending with one of the Volunteers. And the more play continues, the more we realize we've got numbers that don't match up to the roster we've got written down here. So Calega's going to head to the box on a trip. Egan in the box for an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. So 5-on-3 here for a minute 14 seconds. Offensive zone draw off the 5-on-3. One back, but now Bolger creates a turnover. Bolger in alone against Shaw. Shoots one. He put it over the net. Mike Bolger continues to go high here. Had a couple of brilliant opportunities on Friday night, and he shot him over the net. And that trend continues here for Bolger. 58 seconds on the 5-on-3. Tennessee in front, sends one down towards the net. Gormley gets a stick on that one. Now behind the net, Tyler Oakley and Mike Bolger double up on a man. Leaves Julian Reese shorthanded, and now Bolger again. Out towards center ice with Reese. Bolger on the backhand down the left wing. Sends one in front intended for Reese. Tennessee takes that one, and now back the other way. A 3-on-1 with Reese streaking back on the back check. Alone in front. Gormley makes a big save, and now a loose puck in front. Still sent wide. Gormley may have gotten a second touch on that. Behind the goal, they try the wraparound attempt, and Gormley makes a third stop. Gamecocks keep it at 4-0. Some risky play there. Bolger and Reese, 2 of the 3 Gamecock skaters on the ice, streaking down right to left. Leaving Tyler Oakley all alone back there. But a couple of brilliant saves there by Liam Gormley. Keeps it at 4-0. Bolger and Reese call themselves the power kill. A penalty kill with some power. So as you saw there, I mean, well, when you got as many shorthanded goals as Julian Reese does, I think the nickname power kill can stick. Center point, sent on goal there. Gormley makes a save again down low to deny Kenny Richter. Now back at the point. Big shot again. It's King, and another pad save there by Gormley. Peters on this one. Sends one back out to the point. Controlled there. Quick shot there. Redirected in front. Gormley gets a stick on that one as well. May have gone off the hip of Matt Owen there in front. 1 penalty killed. Out of the box is Ronan Egan. Down low. Tennessee controls it. It goes off the outside of the net there. Awkward bounce. Looked like it may have gone in from a sharp angle right along the goal line. Puck comes back out to the point. Play continues. No goal scored. Richter down low. Cross ice feed in the slot there. Broken up by Egan. A follow-up chance there by King goes up and over the net. Bounces up in the air off the dasher. Still that puck pinballing around in behind the goal. Finally it lays flat. 22 to go here on the tripping call to Joe Colega. Loose in front, that puck. Still just battled for it now. Gormley trying to get a glove on top of it, and finally he does. 7:48 to go in the first. 15 seconds on that Joe Colega penalty. The Gamecocks kill off Egan's minor. And so through all of that, Gormley continues to shut the door. Tennessee 0 for 2 on the power play so far. Gamecocks 1 for 1 on theirs with a shorthanded goal to boot. Tennessee outshooting the Gamecocks now 12-11 as they take this one in the near side corner. Backhanded out, moved all the way over towards the point. Back down low, the Volunteers control it after the hash marks. Out of the box is Caleca. Mcgowan in behind the goal. Gamecocks 3 for 3 on the penalty kill. They'll send this one in front. Volunteers controlling it. And a cross-ice feed there picked up by Owen Thomas. He brings this one out on the near side. Sends one intended for Ronan Egan. It avoids him. It avoids the net. And we'll go for an icing here with just over 7 minutes to go in this first period. Face-off coming all the way back down to our right. So the face-off comes to the glove hand side of Liam Gormley, our right wing from your and our vantage point. Now it's taken out on the breakout. Egan across. Owen Thomas sidesteps a man, loses the puck, has to go in the corner, gets it back. Owen Thomas across from the point. Colin Burke walks in, shoots one, save made by Shaw again. Loose puck batted out towards the slot. High slot area, away from Ryan Mcgowan, but down low now to Ronan Egan. Egan from the goal line sends one back down for Smith. Smith battling there with Sledge. Now coming over to flick this one out off the boards is Tennessee. Mcgowan kicks it down with a skate, and Sledge controls from behind his own goal again. Rolling puck, sends this one. And now it's intercepted, though. Egan across for Thomas. Nice play there. Thomas, a sharp angle shot right into the breadbasket of Brandon Shaw. Another save and a face-off here. This time 6:36 to go. South Carolina on top 4-0. And typically we have our chat section on this one. Oh, here it is. For the first half of the live stream, you can typically give us feedback. And I wanted to make sure the live stream was working. The Wi-Fi isn't as good as it was on Friday night. I wanted to make sure the Wi-Fi was working, but I couldn't see the chat. Now I can see it. So, again, same as Friday. If you can hear me, let me know. In behind the goal now, the Gamecocks control it. Alex Siegfried, offensive zone, sends one in front for Matt Owen. He's got to pull it out of his skates. Now Lawrence in front. Still they battle for it at the top of the blue paint. No one can come away with it until finally that puck brought out here by John Clark. Clark down the left side for Tennessee. Flicks this one in on goal. An easy paddle save there by Gormley. Now Clark sends one in front all alone in the slot there. Gormley comes out to make a big save. Puck loose behind him, though. No whistle. They poke it in. Gormley thought he had that puck covered. John Clark comes in. It was sitting right behind Gormley's skates. And John Clark gets his first of the series. Franklin, Tennessee native. Just consistent battling in below the goal line here for Tennessee, and they are able to work one out. A big save there by Gormley. Thought he had the rebound underneath him. Gamecock defenseman Mcgowan tried to kind of tuck it back under his goaltender, but Clark got to it first. Got a nose for the net, and so 4-1. Tennessee lights the lamp for the first time here tonight. Out off the dasher there in Tennessee territory. Taken out, it bounces towards center ice. Cycled back in here by Ronan Egan. Now on the far side, Drew King takes a hit, gets the puck in deep. Nick Peters back for South Carolina. Peters moving much better here, shaking off that ankle injury. They'll give the goal to Drake Lamb rather. Looked like John Clark tucked that puck home. Well, they'll say Drake Lamb's wearing number 16. So we'll sort this one out as Tennessee brings this one back in. Lamb wearing 16 tonight instead of Clark. Like I said, we'll go back down into the penalty box in between periods. Now a 2-on-1 develops here for Tennessee. Cross ice feed, alone in front. King sends one up and over the glove hand of Gormley. Up and over the net as well. To the near side corner, Cory Hawkinson battles for it there. Sent one underneath for Peters. Taken here for South Carolina along the far side boards. Cross ice feed, intercepted though at the blue line. Fortunately for Peters, it comes back to him. He's able to shovel this one out on the backhand up off the high glass. Now taken by Tennessee in their offensive zone as the Gamecocks get a full-on line change. Centering feed there. Knocked down by Tyler Oakley. In behind his own net. Oakley spins off a check, sends one across. And Bolger elects to come down to the hash marks and take it for South Carolina. Bolger sidesteps a forechecker, sends one across. It pinballs in front. Julian Reese has it at center ice. Tries to send one through for Powderly. Offsides are the Gamecocks. Reese gets a late shot. Whistle blown. Face-off coming. 4:26 to go in this first period. Drake Lamb, the goal scorer here for Tennessee. John Clark, the assist on that most recent goal. If you're just with us, Owen Thomas, Ronan Egan, and Julian Reese, the goal scorers for South Carolina. Reese has 2 goals on the night, 1 shorthanded. Now he's got the puck out to the far side. Reese in front on the backhand, sends one on goal, and Shaw makes another save. And the linesman racing down from the blue line to make sure no more extracurriculars occur. Gamecock team that entered this game with a chip on their shoulder. A team that has not experienced losing so far this year, up until Friday night. And you can tell it's a team with some pushback. They don't like losing. This one sent back in after the offensive zone face-off win by South Carolina. Ian Powderly underneath sends one for Ronan Egan. Down below the goal line, sends one off the outside of the cage. It comes back to him in the far side corner. They'll battle for it there, and Tennessee regains control. In a flash of gray and orange from left to right, Tennessee enters the zone. In past Tyler Oakley. Now Ian Powderly able to come up with that one. He gets crunched in the far side boards, but he's able to get the puck out of the zone. Racing on now. Egan into the forechecking offensive zone here. Egan's got it. Centers one intended for Owen Thomas, and a delayed penalty here. That will send South Carolina back to the penalty box. No. One of the Volunteers to the box for a cross check. They were eyeballing Tyler Oakley there like they may have wanted him to go. Oakley, the game leader with 8 penalty minutes last night. Early yesterday morning, whatever you want to call it. Again, for those of you that stayed up with us, thank you. You are some troopers. Second power play forthcoming here for South Carolina. Off the face-off when it comes out towards center ice after a blocked shot. So spinning off this one will be Nick Peters. Peters avoids a man, and now might be a shorthanded chance there, almost. Peters sends this one on the backhand. Trying to listen to the name of number 2 down there, but couldn't hear that one. Cory Hawkinson at the hash marks. Sends one towards the point in Owen Thomas. He walks around Hawkinson and a volunteer as well. Now give and go in front for Owen Thomas there. Nice play with Nick Peters. The defenseman working back down below the goal line. At the point now, Owen Thomas has the puck. Sends it down for a redirection. Reese sends it wide. And now it's picked up by Peters. Working the half wall, the left-handed shot. Intended that one to go back for Cory Hawkinson. It drifts instead all the way back into the Gamecock zone. 1:11 to go on the man advantage. And now a whistle and a face-off. Ben Smith's going to get booked for a holding the stick penalty. He was tangled up in front with Harry Cadmus. And so Ben Smith, the guilty party. heads to the penalty box. He's going to plead his case. But as it always seems, that is to no avail. So South Carolina 1 for 2 on the power play now as their power play expires. Minute 9 seconds of a 4-on-4. Faceoff comes down to our right in the Gamecock zone. Able to win it back now to Joe Caleca. Power kill out there, even though it's usually not a good idea to give yourself a nickname. Bolger and Reese sends this one ahead at the blue line. Julian Reese, one shorthanded goal already. He's looking for the hat trick. Julian Reese spins off a defender, sends one across, picked up by Joe Coleg. Coleg sends one on goal. The Iamsville, Maryland native races back to the blue line as now the puck comes to Tyler Oakley. Down low, blue stripe. Comes all the way back out. Oakley just able to hold it in, but behind the blue line. And so Coleg back into South Carolina territory with one forechecker. Sends it off the dasher in behind Gormley's net. Picked up now by Oakley. Spun on for Coleg again. Two forecheckers in deep now on this Tennessee power, on the 4-on-4 rather. Now it's come out for Mike Bolger down the right side. Bolger tries to curl around a man. Nice breakup of that pass. Now a stretch pass all the way back. Going to be a breakaway here for Tennessee. Diving play. Nice play by Tyler Oakley to break that one up. And now comes in behind the South Carolina net. Gormley doesn't exactly know where it is. He races back to his goal post. Tennessee controls. 5 seconds on the 4-on-4. Tennessee to the power play shortly. Across from Kenny Richter. Sends one in front. And now it's batted all the way back down. Sirwa hollering for a too-many-men penalty, but Tennessee never touched the puck. So play continues as they are now on the power play. Drew King has it. Can't hang on to it. Hunter Jackal sends this one back out towards the red line. Now it's picked up and moved back in. And quickly back out by Hunter Jackal. Brandon Shaw in behind his net to play the puck. Loses it. Now it comes instead to Luke Roodman here for South Carolina. Roodman sidesteps a man, shorthanded. Ian Powderly ordering him to move that puck back out of the zone. But instead, Tennessee takes over down the right wing as we approach the 1-minute mark of this first period. That shot off the side of the net there. Maybe Gormley got a pad on that one as well. And it's taken all the way back down to our left as the Gamecocks clear the zone. Left to right, Tennessee steers this one back in. Icing will be called. Drew King arguing that he touched that puck. Tennessee captain out of Marietta, Georgia. Had 2 assists in last night's game. But the play comes all the way back down after the icing. To the right of Brandon Shaw. Tennessee out shooting South Carolina 16-15 so far through this first period. Instead, they're ruling that the faceoff will come at center ice. 58.3 to go here. Ben Smith still in the box for 2 more seconds. And they get the penalty kill here. Smith back onto the ice. He won't go to the bench. He'll enter the play. In South Carolina territory, Joe Coleg takes it underneath. Near side, over the far side, behind the goal line. Away from Ben Smith, gets taken down there. Loses the puck. It comes out towards neutral zone. Shoveled in on the backhand, and now Nick Peters races back underneath. Peters on his backhand for Smith. Now Owen Thomas. Thomas for alternate captain Ronan Egan. Thomas has to stretch at the blue line, stays on sides. Egan has it. Out to the left wing, curls back and tends that one for Joe Coleg. It goes too far. 20 seconds left, maybe one more opportunity here for South Carolina as Nick Peters sends a skipper in on goal. And they'll rule the faceoff comes all the way back in as Peters sent that one in from behind the red line. So the faceoff comes to the neutral zone dot that typically offsides faceoffs are drawn from. After the Ben Smith penalty kill, Tennessee 0 for 4 on the power play so far. They're not getting any lack of chances. And now Smith races in with 11 seconds to go. Smith taken down in behind the net. A little slow to get up. Owen Thomas after that puck and Kenny Richter. We'll get it free to Ronan Egan here. 3 seconds to go. Underneath tries to center one for Ben Smith. That one broken up. And time expires here in the first period. Through 20 minutes. 4 goals for South Carolina. 1 for Tennessee. That's how we stand. Shots after 20, 16-15 in favor of the home Volunteers. But shots not necessarily translating to goals so far in this one. Doesn't mean that can't change, though. We'll step aside. They'll cut the ice. Players will dress the wounds and get some water, whatever they do in the intermissions. And we will figure out who wears what number for Tennessee, because that's important to me and it's important to you. So we'll step aside when we come back. Period number 2 on the Capital City Sports Network, presented by SGTV. Welcome back to the Capital City Sports Network as we approach the start of period number 2. South Carolina leads Tennessee 4-1 in this second of a, not exactly back-to-back, but 2-game road trip here to Knoxville. And much to everyone's delight, I have gone down and I have retrieved the actual jersey numbers of all the Tennessee Volunteers, but much to the opposite of delight for me, only 3 players are wearing the same numbers today as they were on Friday. But as we always say, such is life in the ACHA. So we're going to make the best of it. Some of the more prominent players are still wearing the same numbers. Captain Drew King still wearing 17. Danny Brooker, the Philly kid that's had quite his fair share of dust-ups in mostly Friday's game, but in today as well. He's still wearing number 13. So for this second period, no carryover penalties nor power plays. The Gamecocks will move left to right. Tennessee outshot South Carolina 16-15 through the first 20 minutes. Liam Gormley able to stop 15 of those 16 shots that came his way. Brandon Shaw remains in the Tennessee net. Down to our right, the right-handed catching goaltender. So Ben Smith, Ronan Egan, and Owen Thomas to start things out. Up front for South Carolina, Caleca and Peters on defense as well. Caleca on the left side playing D, Nick Peters on the right. Those two on their off wings, or their off-handed sides. So Peters being the left-handed shot on the right side, has his stick in the middle of the ice, not typically what you see at even strength. But off the draw, we're underway here in the second period. Gamecocks advance this one. Ben Smith racing down the left side, sends one in the slot. Intended for Owen Thomas. It goes too far for him. The Volunteers take over. Send this one back out into Gamecock territory. Coleg off the boards for Ben Smith. Shovels it in on the backhand. Taking a spill there is Owen Thomas. Fresh ice not doing him any good. Joe Coleg now in his own zone. Spins off a check. Sends this one back in. Intended for Ben Smith. Didn't get a touch on it. Icing waved off, though, as Nick Peters gets in. Peters. And now Owen Thomas come together with Josh Main. Ronan Egan in front of the goal line. Far side boards to the point, Joe Coleg. Fresh from the bench, Colin Burke. Puck ricochets off a shin guard, goes into the near side corner. And Ian Powderly not able to keep things into the Gamecock zone of attack. Puck comes back out. Tennessee controls, sends one this at center. Away there from Drew King and Danny Brooker. But Colin Burke sends this one out of Gamecock territory, up and ahead for Ian Powderly. Fresh from the bench with Julian Reese and Mike Bolger. I would be surprised if we ever see Bolger and Reese split up. It's not something we'd normally be comfortable saying, but I would be very surprised. Into the Gamecock zone now. 18:39 to go. Still 4-1 in this one. Gamecocks leading Tennessee. Play comes along the far side boards. The puck is pinned against the dasher there. Now finally it's worked out. Hunter Jackal takes over. Down the near side, the defenseman comes up to the red line, takes a spill. After a collision there with Bobby Stoberski. D-to-D, Jackal goes with Burke out at center ice. Julian Reese on the backhand. That one denied at the blue line by Tennessee. And they dump it back into Gamecock territory. From the restart here. Out off the boards, that pass too much for Mike Bolger. And now back in. Racing on this forecheck is Julian Reese. He creates a turnover there off a thunderous hit at open ice. It looked like Reese got as much of the contact on that one as the Volunteer whom he hit. Now the Volunteers send this one back in. Behind, Colin Burke. Avery Prudent was a late scratch from this game. It'd be remiss if we did not mention this. He was having some equipment issues with his skates, and there's no pro shop here. So Avery Prudent needs a new pair of skates. Those of you who want to crowd fund. Not really. But off the turnover here, Tennessee in the offensive zone. Gamecock still able to dress 6 defensemen. And now racing back, Chad Lazine 2-on-1 with Roodman. That one shut down. A solid defensive play. Harry Cadmus racing back, wearing number 12 this afternoon. Underneath, Cadmus jousts there with Hawkinson. Hawkinson still wearing number 3 for South Carolina. That hasn't changed. Off a turnover in front. It comes onto the near side. Ryan Mcgowan underneath. Luke Roodman. And now Cory Hawkinson battles there with Cadmus, and Cadmus going to win the draw. Blake Sledge has some trouble with it along the near sideboards. Hawkinson gets in, creates a turnover, sends one on net. And that one paddled down and stopped by Brandon Shaw. A little over 3 minutes into this second period. And so far in the middle frame, a bit more of a chess match back and forth Not really any clear opportunities. That Chad Lazine 2-on-1 with Luke Roodman almost had the potential to turn dangerous for South Carolina. Dangerous in a good way. A favorable way, but shut down by a solid defensive play there by Harry Cadmus. So it comes around far side offensive zone. Ryan Mcgowan doing his best to hold that puck in. Tennessee has some other ideas. Sidestepping a check there from Rob Lawrence. Down on his back there, Danny Brooker. He's able to advance the puck, though. Joe Colega able to pick this one through. It rolls back into Tennessee territory, and a thunderous check there. Rob Lawrence underneath the Tennessee net. He comes together there with Bryden Frost. Tennessee takes over. Rob Lawrence, as he played in the AJHL with Owen Thomas, Atlanta Junior Knights. He was one of the team leaders in penalty minutes, had 72 of them last season. Bolgers lost his helmet after a collision at open ice. Beg your pardon, Matt Owen, rather. So play comes to a halt here. 16:02 still. No shots on goal have been registered in this one, though. It looked like Cory Hawkinson may have gotten one off. There was that slow roller that comes in on the goaltender. But again, the criteria is if the goaltender was not there to stop it, the puck would have gone into the net. That looked like that would have been the criteria there. It would have met the criteria. So a center ice face-off after the stoppage for Matt Owen. He's got his helmet back on. He's on the bench. He's doing all right. And now Ben Smith carries this one in. Tennessee territory, fans on the shot there. Ben Smith at the left wing sends one underneath. A give and go there. Owen Thomas with Ronan Egan, who gets a stick up high. Ben Smith has the puck at the hash marks. Down low, Thomas below the goal line. For Egan, has some trouble with that one. It pops into the air. Nick Peters pinches down low into the slot area. That puck swatted away from him. The Volunteers send this one out. High stick, no call here. All alone on the breakaway. It rolled up there on Blake's sledge. He couldn't tuck it home. Tennessee was hollering from the bench that Ben Smith touched it with a high stick, but it would have negated the breakaway. Now a chance back the other way for Owen Thomas. Sends one, a goal save made. Rebound hauled down in front is Ronan Egan. Delayed penalty called. Gamecocks to the power play. 15:20 to go in the second. Still, South Carolina on top 4-1. And now an opportunity forthcoming to perhaps make it 5. That play there that Tennessee tried to make, that kind of a sky pass out of their own zone, was a play that featured a lot in the Stanley Cup playoffs back in 2016. You saw a lot of teams trying that sky dump. They loft it out of their own zone, 20 feet in the air, and it kind of lands right smack dab at the blue line, and an odd man rush resulting. It worked pretty well there for Tennessee, whether or not they meant to do it. But that's one of those plays that kind of comes out of nowhere. And worked for a while in the NHL, but now teams have caught on and no one really does it anymore. Bolger on the power play, center point. Hunter Jackal rips one. He scores! Hunter Jackal, his first goal in a Gamecock uniform. From the practice squad to the main squad, Hunter Jackal's on the board. How about that? Couldn't happen to a nicer kid either. 5-1 South Carolina. It's a power play goal. They are 1 for 3 at such a scenario so far tonight. 2 for 3, rather. 2 for 3. Hunter Jackal, recruited by equipment manager Alan Gordon. Brought down to South Carolina. He had an outstanding training camp, but just unfortunately missed the cut on the main roster. And without the full utility of Gamecock defenders at their disposal this weekend, Jackal made the roster. Got some more playing time in lieu of Avery Pruden. And now he's got himself his first college hockey goal. Has got 2 assists in tonight's game as well. 3-point night for Jackal. Now that puck loose in front of the Gamecock net, and Matt Owen's helmet has come off for the second time in about a minute and a half, 3 minutes. And so play will stop. Of course, he's going to get some words from the official here on that one. It's, once is an accident, twice maybe. It was behind the play, though. It was unclear what exactly caused the dislodging of Owen's helmet. And so in the ACHA and the NCAA, for that matter, which is the rule book that the ACHA must follow. Anytime a player loses his helmet, the play must stop. It's not like the NHL where you could play without it, although new for 2019. If an NHL player loses his helmet during the course of a play, they've got to go get it or get off the ice. They can't play without a helmet until the end of their shift. They've got to go get the helmet unless they're in the midst of a scoring chance or get off the ice. And if not, they are assessed a penalty. I'm not entirely sure what the actual name of the penalty is. As this puck comes into the corner and all kinds of Volunteers and Gamecocks come together out of it. Nobody really looking for the puck here. As a shot sent wide there from Luke Roodman, ends up in the near side corner. 14:09 to go. 5-1 thanks to the power play goal from Hunter Jackal. The Gamecocks find themselves with the lead. Joe Caleca behind his own net. Looking for Rob Lawrence. Sends this one out off the high glass. Caught there by Peters. Sends it across for Chad Lazine. Lazine, a offside play there. Chad Lazine, a point-per-game player. He's had his fair share of scratches, or close to it. Appearing in, this would be his 6th game. 5 assists on the year for Chad Lazine. Still looking for that first goal. Only 4 Gamecocks still looking for their first goal on the year. It was 5 heading into this game, but Hunter Jackal gets that monkey off his back. As this one comes into the Tennessee zone, it bounces up in the air. Played there by Ian Powderly from the goal line. Sends one on net there. Shaw makes the save. Still the puck is loose. Hawkinson battling for it. They go down behind the net. Shaw not sure where that puck is. Powderly's got it. Shaw found the puck as well with his eyes anyway. Powderly a turning shot now out of that right wing faceoff circle. Odd man rush materializes for Tennessee. Quick shot there off the goal post again. It stays out. He beat Gormley to the blocker side. Now loose in the slot. A backhand shot blocked by Mcgowan. Follow-up chance again off the goal post and it stays out. Now off the outside of the cage. 2 big chances for Tennessee. Gormley thanks his goal posts again. 13:07 to go. We'll stay at 5-1. Left post, right post, still out. And now a delayed offsides here, waved off as the puck bounces around the neutral zone a little bit here. Hawkinson sends this one out on the backhand, delayed offsides. Tennessee has to touch up, and that will give Tyler Oakley a chance to regain control. And a collective sigh from all the Gamecocks on the ice and on the bench. Breakout play. Powderly benches hauling for him to get it deep. Powderly instead decides to sidestep a man, curl the puck around him. Send one in front for Cory Hawkinson, although it's shut down there by the Tennessee defenders. This one sent out. They'll rule that the Volunteers had touched it before it goes into the Gamecock zone. Icing waved off. Jackal plays this one ahead. Neutral zone now. Drew King for Tennessee. Off the turnover. Racing head is Colin Burke leading the charge. Burke sends one on goal. Shaw makes the save, gets his own rebound in front for Egan, and a big save there by Shaw. Little 1-2 tap there. Ronan Egan gets it up, and Shaw pins it into his body there with that left blocker hand. So shot number 20 for South Carolina in this hockey game. Held on to there by Shaw. Face-off coming to the far side, that left wing face-off circle. Ben Smith takes this one. Egan off the draw, sends one, and Shaw makes the save, and it hits Ben Smith in the helmet. Bounces back out. Taken there by Ronan Egan. And swept up the boards there by Tennessee. Owen Thomas can't hold it in at the blue line. Volunteers take control. One man falls into the zone offsides. He's got to come back up, touch up. So Tennessee will vacate the puck. Now it's taken now by South Carolina. Owen Thomas bumped at center ice, but he redirects the puck into offensive territory. And so Tennessee will have to try their hand at a breakout once more. In their own zone, they struggle. Harry Cadmus able to work things away back into Hunter Jackal's near side corner. Jackal receiving pressure from Michael Curtis. A goal in Friday night's contest. Now a big hit at open ice. Owen Thomas repays the favor there. Puck comes up into the face mask of Ian Powderly. Gamecocks just short of being offsides. They hold the puck in the neutral zone there. And now sent back in by Ronan Egan for a line change. Mike Bolger's line coming on now for South Carolina. Bolger gets in, pins him into the boards. Hawkinson, Ian Powderly now can't get the puck away. Powderly looking for Reese in front there, denied by the stick of one of the Tennessee defenders, perhaps Cadmus. Back the other way for the Volunteers. Quick shot top of the circle. That one just goes wide on the glove hand side of Gormley. Bolger pokes this one free. Reese ahead, looking for maybe a 2-on-1 there. Powderly skies this one, and he will go for a line change. Approaching the halfway game in this one. Halfway point of this game. Loose in front. Bolger tries to feed Reese. Still Julian Reese, shorthanded goal, an even strength goal on the doorstep of what would be his second career hat trick. That puck worked free away from the Tennessee blue line. Back in now, Nick Peters swats it out of Gamecock territory to the neutral zone, and Luke Roodman, offensive territory, sends one cross ice too far. Goes into the far side corner, taken out, kicked at by Joe Colega. Volunteers come together on him. It's Dillon Clark. Now Peters out of his own zone. Roodman at center, across the red line for Julian Reese. Right wing, curls one, inside, outside. Nice move by Reese. Sends one into a leg there, and it goes wide. Roodman puts a solid crunch on Drake Lamb. A lone goal scorer here for Tennessee as the puck goes up and out of play exactly at the halfway mark of this period, and therefore the game. 5-1 the score. South Carolina still ahead. On Sunday afternoon games, which typically not something you're used to seeing, but Gamecocks have played 2 of them. They've won both of them. Florida, the most recent game, and then a 7-0 shutout, or my apologies, 7-2 win in Wilmington against Coastal Carolina. It was Liam Gormley's first win. It was actually a 9:30 a.m. start, so a little different here. We got to sleep in a little bit. As the Gamecocks break this one out from their own zone. The shots a little fewer than they were last game. Right now we sit at 21-18 in favor of the visitors as Rob Lawrence is taken to the boards hard. 49-38 is how they ended up Friday night. As Matt Owen breaks into the zone and Shaw able to fight off his shot there. Lawrence taken to the boards hard and now tackled, dogpiled on there basically by Drew King, and now we've got a penalty. Matt Owen gets involved, and before he's able to lose his helmet again, the official steps in and is going to escort Drew King to the penalty box. A hit from a dangerous area there. The hit itself didn't look to be dirty. He kind of got Lawrence as he was about 3/4 turn, so it wasn't a hit from behind. It's just that danger area, 2 feet off the boards when you're not far enough away from the boards to just go down onto the ice, and you're too close to the boards. You're not close enough to stop yourself with your hands. So you're kind of getting planted face first with a decent amount of momentum, no matter how you go into it. Lawrence unshaken, unfazed. He's back on the Gamecock bench. So a power play again coming up for South Carolina. They are 2 for 3 on the night, clicking along with some efficiency. Tennessee able to work this one out shorthanded. Egan holds it in at the hash marks. He controls and sends it down low for Ben Smith. Smith from the goal line. In front, Owen Thomas sends one. Now it goes off a leg through the hash marks, rather. And now Nick Peters watches this puck come away from one forechecker in Pete Bunch, or number 18 today instead of 40. Now a center ice pass. Ben Smith sends it across for Hawkinson on the backhand. It may have caught the goalpost there. Shaw's able to hang on to that one here. 8:29 to go. 1:24 on the man advantage for South Carolina. The penalties are stacking up here a little bit, though not quite as much as last time these two teams came together. Cross-ice feed intended for Ryan Mcgowan, intercepted and swept all the way back down the ice by the Tennessee penalty killers. Hunter Jackal takes the feed from his own goaltender. And now Ronan Egan sends this one off the dasher. Creates some time and space here for Jackal. And Jackal on the fan breakout attempt here. Back the other way, off the turnover. Quick shot there. Nice block by Ryan Mcgowan. Off the stick there, Michael Curtis. Hawkinson twirls away from Curtis, and now finally able to get some speed through the neutral zone. Goes out wide. Hawkinson in the slot. Knocked off the puck. He goes down. And now Josh Main on it for Tennessee. They'll work it out far side. Hawkinson keeps it in for South Carolina. Right-handed shot. Sends one on his backhand into the slot. But it's intercepted by the Volunteers. Escorted all the way back out by Danny Brooker. Back to play at Liam Gormley. Colega gets it back from Mcgowan. At his own goal line, Julian Reese has to come back and play this one. 23 seconds, and the Gamecocks having a little bit of trouble handling this rolling puck. Joe Colega pokes it out, and the Tennessee shorthanded unit might have a chance here. Quickly taken away there by Joe Colega. 14 to go. One last rush on the power play. Colega heads for the net. It's Bolger with some time in the slot. Sends one. Colega hopped up in the air, but the puck never got to him. It was blocked in the slot, and penalty time has expired. Drew King steps on the ice. Sends it across now. Colega, quick shot upstairs, and Shaw makes the save with the blocker. It comes back to Colega. Center point, Watched there by Danny Brooker. Now it's sent back in, delayed offsides. Tennessee breaks it in. Right wing intercepted there. Colin Burke closes him off. Now the stretch pass sent up for Siegfried. Siegfried able to tap this one in for Rob Lawrence. Lawrence pulls up at the goal line. Back out north towards the far side face-off circle. Now for Matt Owen. Owen, a goal and 2 assists last season. He's got 2 goals and 1 assist so far this season. So now a chance in front. Open net there. Nice defensive play by Matt Owen. Big chance off the odd man rush for Tennessee. As back now, Rob Lawrence. Long shot. Easy save there for Brandon Shaw. Right into that Tennessee logo on his chest. The whistle, a face-off. 6:15 to go. South Carolina 5, Tennessee 1. Hawkinson for the offensive zone draw. He wins it sideways there over to his left winger, Chad Lazine. Lazine goes below the goal line where he's watched there by Braden Frost. At the point, it's Coleg now for Hawkinson. Frost takes over for Tennessee, sends it back into the skates of Hawkinson. Now the Volunteers break it out once more. Again, a 2-on-1 develops here. Down the right side, Peters lays down to cut off the pass. A big save there by Gormley. He got the stick out. Pete Bunch tried to slide one across there, looking for the stick of Michael Curtis. Nick Peters played the 2-on-1 just about as well as you could, but great patience there from Pete Bunch. And Liam Gormley sneaks out the paddle there to cut off the pass. Real heads-up play by the Carolina netminder. In behind his net now. Puck swept up the far side boards, held into the line there by Tennessee. They'll send one into the slot. Now a turning shot there. Bunch sends one wide. Roodman across. Now in front to the near side boards at the hash marks. Roodman finds Hawkinson. He's got Lazine over to his left. Hawkinson takes it in himself, though. Tries to stick it around everyone. Sends one intended there for Lazine, but that play shut off there. A solid defensive play there by Braden Frost. Now Lazine in the slot. Sends one on goal. Shaw makes a save. Loose in front. Where is it? They score! Luke Roodman may have gotten the last touch on that one. 6-1 South Carolina after a pinball play in front. Luke Roodman's got another one. First to the handshake line is Roodman. Doing a little bit of gator chomp again. You want to call it a signature celebration? Okay. Gamecock 6, Volunteers 1. Roodman's 3rd goal of the season. He's one of those guys, he just has that nose for the net. He plays with an edge. Roodman, not a sniper by any caliber. He makes his money in and around that blue paint, driving home rebounds and making hard-nosed plays, and he does it again. Into Tennessee territory here. The tone here at the Knoxville Civic Coliseum, quite different than it was Friday night and Saturday morning. Now Drew King out of his own zone, sends it in behind his goaltender. We're going to be taken by his defenseman. Moved back out now, Max Galpin. Now a turnover at the blue line. Ben Smith on sides for Ronan Egan. Sends one on goal, and Shaw again makes the save, but the rebound pops free. Oakley sends this one back down low underneath for Ronan Egan. Lazine gets the assist, as does Cory Hawkinson. As this one goes wide here. Oakley twirls off a check there at center ice. Now he takes it down the right side. Oakley, 2-on-1. Sends one there, intended for the stick of Ian Powderly. It goes too far for him. And now Mcgowan picks up at the red line. Sends it back into Tennessee territory. That puck there, and the Gamecocks essentially cleared the zone on themselves. And now a stretch pass there. Hauled off the puck. Solid defensive play there by Colin Burke. Teams up with Mike Bolger there to take the puck away from Blake Sledge. And now Bolger roars ahead. Bolger for Reese. Too far for him. Taken away and swept out by Harry Cadmus. Now Jackal able to box out Michael Curtis here in behind the goal. Jackal works the puck free on the backhand. Moves it ahead to Cory Hawkinson. And now for Julian Reese down the left side. 3.5 to go here. Sends one on goal. Knocked down. Blocked on its way. And Reese recovers in the near side corner. Down low for Bolger. Reese and Powderly on with Bolger. In front for Bolger, and a shot. Save made by Shaw, and a quick whistle there. That puck was loose. Powderly denied on the doorstep there by Shaw. That puck coming out of the right wing corner, fed in front for Powderly on the other side of the net. And Shaw has to sprawl from his left to his right. gets the toe on it, makes the save, and keeps us at 6-1. The night for Liam Gormley has been a bit quieter. The afternoon, I should say. The afternoon has been a bit quieter. Only 19 shots on goal through almost 2 periods. As here, a chance comes in front again for Ian Powderly. And a steal by Mike Bolger. Has it, right wing, sends one up and high. Bolger having some trouble hitting the net here, at least in Knoxville. Bolger with 6 goals on the season. I wouldn't call that trouble hitting the net. Most of the time, Bolger has it in front on the backhand. He scores. Mike Bolger makes me eat my words on his backhand. 7-1 South Carolina. All alone in front off the turnover. Turns Shaw inside out. Gamecocks kick the extra point. He's one of those players you just had to know was coming. The frustration building from Friday night. Not hitting the net is one thing, but not hitting the net in a 6-2 loss is something completely different. Especially while your line mate Julian Reese is tucking home goals left and right. 2 in Friday night's game, 2 tonight. Now Bolger's got one for himself. So Matt Owen from his own zone into the skates of Alex Siegfried as we await the assist on the Bolger goal. Matt Owen now breaks into the zone, left side, sends one there just too far past the blocker of Shaw. Drifts all the way out and down now for Nick Peters. Peters in front of his goaltender, sends one in the air. Didn't get all of that pass. Julian Reese and Burke get the assists on that one. As this one taken out of the Tennessee zone. 3 points on the afternoon for Julian Reese. 3 for Hunter Jackal. Mike Bolger on the score sheet for the first time. And now a penalty forthcoming with 2:12 to go in the second. That should just about round out this middle frame here. Or maybe not, as we don't see anybody headed towards the penalty box. It was behind the play. Play stopped there. We'll see it's a hand pass. My apologies. And now out of the Tennessee zone, Ryan Mcgowan hauled down there as going for the puck was Sean Nolan. And out of the Tennessee zone, the Gamecocks have it. This one sent in by Hawkinson. Too far for Roodman. He's going to beat out the icing, though. Great play by Luke Roodman. He's got the wheels. Kenny Richter taking things out now for the Volunteers. Skies this one out towards center ice. A glove there from Tyler Oakley. And now a pass up ahead for Roodman down the right side once more. Sharp angle shot stopped by Shaw. And now the rebound picked up by Cory Hawkinson. 1 man against 3 as Hawkinson gets sent down in behind the net. Sent on goal there. Shaw makes the save to deny the long-range chance there from Tyler Oakley. Now a breakout pass taken away there by Luke Roodman. Right wing for Chad Lazine. Bolger sends one on the backhand. Mcgowan. And now Roodman into the corner. Tangles again with Sean Nolan. To the point. Oakley sends one. Save made by Shaw. The rebound sitting right there. Picked up by Roodman. Hollering for that puck as Chad Lazine gets 2 chances, 3 chances. Now the puck whacks in the air, and Shaw makes that save. 3 big stops there by Brandon Shaw. Chad Lazine just couldn't get any elevation on the puck, and now it finally ends up out of play. As shots number 30, 31, and 32 all turned away by Shaw. The 2 goals South Carolina scored on Friday were the fewest they had posted in any contest this season. And the 6th that they had allowed would appear to be the most they've allowed in any sort of game. Preseason, regular season. As we approach the last minute of period number 2 here, Jackal has it, center point, offensive zone, sends that one off a leg. It goes into the corner. Tennessee sends it out, neutral zone for Colin Burke. Plays it off the boards for Ronan. Egan flips this one 20 feet into the air, and it lands right wing for Owen Thomas. Makes a nice move. Thomas down the right wing. Backhand pass in front for Ben Smith, shut down by Shaw. Big hit in behind the goal. As Owen Thomas sent down there, caught a solid shoulder from Danny Brooker. As this one at the blue line, sent on goal by Colin Burke. It never got to its destination. As now King works it out ahead through center ice. Big hit by Thomas. As this one comes back through into Tennessee territory. Ronan Egan becoming a pest on the forecheck once again. strips it of control. Egan across, intended for Thomas. It's loose in the slot, though. Egan the shot. Saw the save again. 7.2. Shot number 34, swallowed and held there by Brandon Shaw. While it's not the 47 save virtuoso we saw on Friday, it's still. Shaw's been tested often. He's been tested in some tough situations. And still with 7 goals against, Shaw's made some pretty spectacular saves. Namely against Matt Owen, Chad Lazine you saw as time expires in the second. 40 minutes in the books. 34 shots to 19 for South Carolina. 7-1 the score in favor of the visitors. So we'll see if the Gamecocks can hang on here and reclaim their winning ways, avenge the loss of 2 nights ago. That's where we stand. That's where we'll stand when we come back after the second intermission here on the Capital City Sports Network, presented by SGTV. Welcome back to the Capital City Sports Network. Period 3, just moments away here from the Knoxville Civic Coliseum. If you're just with us, South Carolina ahead 7-1 thanks to a pair of goals from Julian Reese, one from Owen Thomas, Ronan Egan, Hunter Jackals first in a Gamecock uniform, Luke Roodman and Mike Bolger most recently. Julian Reese getting the assist on that Bolger goal. Gamecocks will move right to left to start this third period. Still between the pipes for Tennessee. Brandon Shaw down to our left. Liam Gormley to our right. And for the third time to open a period tonight, Gamecocks will go with Owen Thomas, Ben Smith, and Ronan Egan. And after that draw, it goes into the Tennessee zone here. Owen Thomas colliding there with Colton Banville. Comes onto the near side. Big hit there by Ben Smith. Squirts free for Owen Thomas. Can't shovel it in on the backhand. Takes a man down. A big hit. And Blake Sledge finds himself on the ice. Joe Colega taken down there. Gamecocks won a hooking penalty. And after the delayed call, they will get it. Joe Colega more or less tackled there on that play. And headed towards the penalty box. We will see. But educated guess tells me it's going to be Pete Bunch. My educated guess was incorrect. John Clark in the box there for a hooking call. First power play of the period for South Carolina. They went 1 for 1 on the power play in the second, 1 for 2 in the first. So 2 for 3 so far. Tennessee's still looking for their first power play goal. The Gamecocks have a shorthanded goal along with that. So offensive zone off the power play. Long shot there. Rebound after Luke Roodman got a swat on that one. Both shots stopped by the goaltender Brandon Shaw. And now drifts all the way back out where Liam Gormley can stop it in behind his net. Tyler Oakley, after some close consideration from Max Galpin, Oakley elects to go to the far side, redirected in there by Luke Roodman, icing waved off. It drifts back in slowly there on Colton Banville. Banville out against Matt Owen. Comes down low. Chad Lazine pulls away with it. Lazine across for Burke. Looking upstairs. Big blocker save there by Brandon Sharp. Colin Burke still looking for his first goal in a Gamecock uniform. And Matt Owen comes together in the corner there. Knocked off the puck there. Drew King spins around and sends it all the way down to the blocker hand side of Liam Gormley. He'll stop it on his backhand. And drop things off here for Oakley. Assistant coach John Kochlenberg said to expect lots of ice time from Tyler Oakley tonight. Now a turnover here from Siegfried. Now it's poked away and picked up there instead by Pete Bunch for Tennessee rather. Bunch diving for it. Ben Smith and a delayed call here. 49 seconds on the penalty to Tennessee. And so Tyler Oakley will spend some of his time in the penalty box now. 2 for a hook. So 4-on-4 for 49 seconds. The Gamecocks unable to capitalize on that abbreviated power play. Now 2 for 4. Now it comes back to the point. Unable to be held in there. It comes across for Kenny Richter. That puck pops up in the air after a big hit. Reese takes Richter into his own bench. Hunter Jackal battling for it now in the corner with Connor Hamill. In front, the Gamecocks pick things up. Julian Reese out with Mike Bolger. To the far side, Bolger with some speed into the zone now. Sends one, an intended saucer pass there. Swatted out of the air. Nice hand-eye coordination by Harry Cadmus. But Julian Reese, after a collision, comes away with the puck. Drops it off for Bolger. Far side, cross ice for Mcgowan. Ryan Mcgowan, grandparents visiting from Boston. They came down to watch this game. Had a nice conversation with them in between periods. Now, high shot there by Mcgowan, knocked down in front. May have caught the goaltending equipment of Brandon Shaw. In behind the goal, Gamecock still shorthanded. It's Reese looking for the stuff attempt. Goes around. He scores! The hat trick for Julian Reese. Second shorthanded goal of the night. Second hat trick of his South Carolina career. The Gamecocks make it 8-1. Not a shorthanded goal. My apologies. We're playing at 4-on-4 here. Getting buried here by stats. Julian Reese with the hat trick. Goal number 12 on the season. He's breaking away from Cam Mecca's goal lead. So off the center ice tie-up now. Tennessee sends a man back on as their penalty expires. Now the Gamecocks are shorthanded for about 1 minute and 4 seconds as Tyler Oakley remains in the penalty box. Picked up by Hawkinson. Worked underneath from below the goal line. Sweeps one in front, intended for Alex Siegfried. Nick Peters from the red line. back in, and Drew King brings things on now. Quick shot upstairs, knocked down in front, sent all the way back out. Solid defensive play from Nick Peters. In behind the Tennessee net, breaking things out this time. Michael Czar down the right side. Bolger and Mcgowan get the assists on the Reese goal. Now a shot upstairs, catches the glove there of Gormley. Up into the netting, or into the glass rather, as Joe Coleg has two Volunteers to contend with. Now a backhand shot shoveled out there and a save by Gormley. Still loose on top of the blue paint. No one can come away with it. Another shot goes off the leg of Nick Peters. Finally, they pull it away back out to the blue line. Held in by the Volunteers. 10 to go on the Oakley penalty. This one off the boards in front of the Gamecock bench. And now having to come out to center ice with this one is Michael Czar. Now a cross ice feed picked up by Colton Banville down the left side. Shoots one. Even strength here. A big save by Liam Gormley. To the bench, Tyler Oakley. Racing after this one, Matt Owen, as it trickles all the way down to our left into the Tennessee zone. Owen alone. Looking in front for Rob Lawrence. Loose puck. Open net. He couldn't tuck it home. Now holler for it is Chad Lazine, and he fans on it. Chad Lazine had an open net. And he's hearing it from his teammates on the bench right now. Chad Lazine into the corner here. Playing with a little bit of anger and frustration after that attempt goes by the wayside. Matt Owen chips this one back in, backhanded. Lazine patrols the blue line as Tennessee breaks this one out. It'll pass there, intended for the stick of John Clark. Instead, it comes back to Hunter Jackal, who flips this one all the way up. Now racing after it is Rob Lawrence into the Tennessee zone. He comes away with it. Lawrence, centering pass there. Gets to the stick of Matt Owen. Solid defensive effort to knock that puck away. Drake Lamb will get credit for that one. Wrapped all the way back out around. They'll use the boards. Back into Gamecock territory behind Gormley's net. And down for a whistle and an icing. And a face-off coming up to our left. 15-19 to go. Gamecocks, the hat trick to Julian Reese, makes this an 8-1 hockey game. Off that draw, it comes up, and that puck flipped up and out into the seats. They will rule no delay of game penalty. And so it comes again now to the right of goaltender Brandon Shaw. Battling for this one, Ronan Egan at the half wall, kept in on the backhand there by Mcgowan. 5 minutes gone in this third period. Racing in now is Owen Thomas to the near side. At the hash marks, he drops it back down low for Egan. Egan picks things up, sidesteps a check, heads in towards the center of the ice. Sends one on goal, he scores! Ronan Egan caught Brandon Shaw cheating to his left. He sends it back to his right. Egan with goal number 6 on the season. The Gamecocks have 9. So the revenge tour for South Carolina continues. Brandon Shaw will come out for Tennessee. And James Maples will come in. He was one of the late additions to the score sheet. We thought Baylor Winkoff was the backup goaltender, but it turned out, in fact, to be Jimmy Maples. So Chad Lazine to the left side now. Sends one on goal. Redirected in front. Maples makes his first save. And a stoppage with 14:45 to go. After this one comes around the boards here, Nick Peters pinches in Tennessee territory. Comes out Chad Lazine. Little inside move there. He's got it, though, and Lazine gets sent down. Roodman in front to the slot. Hawkinson shoots one. Big save by Maples. He got the blocker on that one to deny Cory Hawkinson. Lazine out of the far side boards. Smith and Thomas get the assist on that goal. Now a chance in front, and Maples denies Luke Roodman of his second goal. Delayed penalty as Chad Lazine is in front. Sent all the way back down by the Gamecocks into their own zone. And now finally, the Gamecocks had control of that puck as they were going to break it out of their own zone. Tennessee never touched it. And so the penalty comes here, Gamecocks to the power play. considerable amount of time here. And so head coach Alan Sirwa with an 8-goal lead, if you're just with us. South Carolina ahead 9-1. Elects to throw out a different-looking power play unit. Hunter Jackal, Ryan Mcgowan, Rob Lawrence, Luke Roodman, Chad Lazine. And as the Gamecocks work this one out of their own zone after having the puck cleared out of the offensive territory, Roodman swings this one to the left side, down the wing in the corner. Maine gets a cross-checking call. And so power play opportunity number 4 coming up for South Carolina. Gormley stops it behind his own net, drops it off where it's picked up by Chad Lazine. He works it out of his own slot area and now races up through center ice. Lazine still sends one on goal. Goes high and wide over the blocker there of Maples. Another shot from the stick of Ryan Mcgowan gets knocked down in front. Never got to the net. Tennessee can't clear this one until finally they chop that one down. Picked up at the red line by Rob Lawrence. He button hooks, sends it back in across the ice, tries to sidestep a man. Couldn't get through Harry Cadmus. And now a breakaway, short-handed here, shot. Big save, Gormley again. And he will hang on to this one. Cherry picking in behind the defense there was Michael Curtis. It almost paid off for him. But Liam Gormley gets the pads together and shuts the door. 58 seconds remain on the cross-checking call to Josh Main. So out of South Carolina territory, the Gamecocks will have to work at Colin Burke to the near side. Alex Siegfried has some trouble at his own blue line. Has it taken away instead, this time by Pete Bunch. And now after it will be Michael Curtis. Sends one, sharp angle. Gormley got a pad on that one. 12.5 to go. Gamecocks 9, Tennessee 1. 39 shots to 25 in favor of the visiting Gamecocks. Now Matt Owen picks this one up at the Tennessee blue line. Taking in Colin Burke to the slot, sends one. Near side corner, Matt Owen. Gamecocks moving right to left to start and continue this third period. Burke twirls away from a man in the slot, and Burke gets put on his wallet. Now Powderly has the puck and a delayed call. Hand pass. As Ian Powderly exchanges pleasantries in front of the Vanderbilt net with Michael Curtis. 7 in-state players for Tennessee, Curtis among them, out of Murfreesboro. Only 2 South Carolina natives for the Gamecocks. They are Cory Hawkinson and Parker West, who did not travel with the team this week. So neutral zone face-off after the hand pass. 12:07 to go. Puck is down, and the first power play unit on now. Egan, Thomas, and Smith with Colega and Peters. And now it rolls around to the far side. Penalty time expires, and it rolls back into South Carolina territory. Joe Colega chases down Drew King. Sends one there. May have caught the outside of the goalpost from the sharp angle. And now back at center ice. Tennessee restarts. Egan off the turnover. Joe Colega, the defenseman, steps up. Has it at the blue line. Working into Tennessee territory. Almost caught a flying shoulder there. Able to shrug it off. Work things down now and battle for the puck with Josh Main. Drew King coming over, as well as Owen Thomas for South Carolina. Finally, Joe Colega able to work it free. It's shoveled out backhandedly. All the way down into Gamecock territory. Peters sends it through for Colega, who fanned on that clearing attempt. Now off the turnover, Gormley's forced to make a save. He punches it out with that right blocker hand. And now a collision in the corner. Back to his feet. Peters now a sharp angle shot again. Gormley makes the save. It's under his pad. And finally cleared out. That's the second opportunity as Ben Smith diving down to keep that puck out of his own net. Gormley goes down into the butterfly. Puck goes down under his pad. This time it stays under his pad. But the difference on the lone Tennessee goal back in the first period was that it went under his pad. He didn't know where it was, and it leaked through. It was sitting about 6 or 7 inches behind his skates, and an easy tap in there for the eventual goal scorer in Lamb. Johnny Clark got the lone assist on that one. So as the Gamecocks clear the zone here, we approach about 10:50 to go in this one. This one cleared all the way out and down. Gives us some time to mention here at the Knoxville Civic Coliseum, formerly titled the General James White Memorial Civic Auditorium and Coliseum, Bit of a tongue twister there. So on top of the brand new Jumbotron here for the Knoxville Ice Bears, it just says Knoxville Civic Coliseum. Opened in 1961, fits 7,141 fans, although we have slightly less than that for this afternoon's matchup. Back at the point, Mcgowan controls, sends one into the slot, too far for Julian Reese. Oakley sends one again. That caught one of the Volunteers in the midsection. A little slow to recover off that one. Now it's pinballing around in the slot. Taken out to the boards, held in by Oakley. Wraps it underneath for Julian Reese. He will battle there with Richter. A heated dispute in behind the goal, but the puck comes out into the neutral zone. Fired back in, glove down, nice hand-eye by Tyler Oakley, and now the Gamecocks have Tennessee in the middle of a change. Bolger to Powderly on the backhand, easy goal, he scores. Brilliant play there by the Gamecocks. Tennessee coach is hollering, he's belligerent on the bench right now. Johnny Scatello furious with his defense after that change. Bolger, the right-handed shot to Powderly on the left wing, turns it to the backhand, shovels it up and over James Maples. And Ian Powderly on the board for South Carolina. They make it a 10 spot. And it begs the question, if the Gamecocks can put up 10 goals on an opponent such as Tennessee, where were some of these goals on Friday night? But that's a completely different game. Situation's much different. The vengeance was not quite in the hearts of the Gamecocks yet. So Powderly's third goal of the season makes it 10, as Gormley gloves this one out of the air. Mike Bolger will be certainly credited with an assist. His second assist of the night, third assist of the night rather, 4 points for Mike Bolger if you tack on that goal. And so off the defensive zone draw for South Carolina, Tennessee sends this one wide. Not the first time someone's put up 10 on the Volunteers. They've given the assist to Julian Reese. I believe it was Mike Bolger. We'll see. But as we were saying, not the first time that someone's put up 10 goals on Tennessee. This one rolls back down for an icing in the Gamecock zone. Face-off comes down to our left in Tennessee's zone. Tennessee fell 10-4 at the hands of the Georgia Bulldogs within the last few weeks. And then they would later go on to beat a team by a score of 20-0. I believe that was Middle Tennessee. And so through all of this, a Gamecock blows a tire in the offensive zone. Alex Siegfried comes in now to help out Rob Lawrence. Getting some wax on the shin guards there as Siegfried staple guns this one in. Finally pulled back out. He's got the skate wedged in there. It drifts out to the blue line, held in by Rob Lawrence. Siegfried centers one. On goal, gloved there and held by Maples. Rob Lawrence, not the only Canadian on the ice so far tonight. Out of Toronto, Drake Lamb, the goal scorer for the Volunteers, a fellow Torontonian. Had to think about that one. Someone let me know if I'm not right in saying Torontonian. Out off the defensive zone clear here. Tennessee sends it all the way back down. Peters picks up the rolling puck, chops it out off the boards. Nice hand-eye from Joe Colega to send that one to the neutral zone, but Tennessee recycles it back in behind the Gamecock net. Near side, Colega sends one off the dasher. King takes the man into the boards. It's Powderly. And now it's center ice. Tennessee regroups. That pass too far, so Peters for Colega, and now on and across past Bolger. Out off the boards. Tennessee on the regroup. So if that goal, if the assist rather is credited to Reese, well, hang on. Julian Reese has the puck right now. He's headed in on net. Sends one to the backhand. One-man opportunity. Bolger in front, and that puck somehow kept out. Jimmy Maples, an outstanding save. Open net opportunity. Reese looked like he was setting up Bolger. And the hockey gods ruled that Bolger's going to have to wait a little bit longer. He's had the most opportunities out of anybody to score goals this weekend. Regardless, forget tonight, forget Friday night, this whole weekend, Mike Bolger leads both clubs in chances. And only one goal to show for it, at least for now. Tennessee gets caught in the midst of a line change here as they drop the puck, so they'll have to drop it again. $7:52 remaining in this third period. 42-29 the shots in favor of the Gamecocks. Collision in the near side corner. Alex Siegfried works it out from that one. Puck pops up in the air too far for Rob Lawrence. Now the Volunteers take things back out. It's swatted away there by Ryan Mcgowan at the center ice face-off dot. Worked back in, icing waved off. As Tennessee works this one out, Mcgowan from the point. Redirected into the netting there, into the glass rather, by Jimmy Maples. So looking ahead, South Carolina, after this one hits zeros, turns their attention back to Clemson. If you'll remember, game number 1 on the season. We seem to mention it a lot because it was an important game. 6-4, the Gamecocks took down Clemson on the road, and now Ryan Mcgowan getting wrapped up in front of the Tennessee bench. Mcgowan scrapping there. Hard to see which Volunteer he's up against. Mcgowan goes down, and getting up is Pete Bunch. There was a play on Friday night. Mcgowan got blown up at open ice. It appeared to be a clean hit. It was just a shoulder-to-chest hit. There was another play earlier on in that game. Unsure if it was the same player. It may have been Bunch, but McGowan's been the source of quite a bit of controversy and physicality in this game. So South Carolina will send Ryan Mcgowan somewhere. Mcgowan and Siegfried. McGowan's back on the bench. The Volunteers wants to. So right now, Alex Siegfried's taking the rap for Ryan Mcgowan. Talk about a teammate. Not a word spoken by Siegfried, although he's got a big smile on his face in the penalty box. The Volunteers, they probably know it's McGowan. I know for sure that Pete Bunch knows it was McGowan. Bunch is not in the penalty box. He's waiting patiently at center ice. So they will wave in lieu of Bunch, Justin Stackhouse. And now McGowan skates over. McGowan to the penalty box. Well, while all this goes on, Liam Gormley waiting patiently down to our right. Been outstanding. Had some friends standing behind him, made of iron and painted red. Those two back-to-back posts in the second period. At a pivotal time, at that point, it was only 2-1 or maybe it was 3-0 at that point. Two big goal posts for Tennessee, and the game very well could have hinged on that. So 2 Gamecocks in the box, 1 Volunteer. McGowan credited with a penalty here, the only penalty that's up on the board. So another power play coming up for Tennessee. They are 0 for 6 at this current time. They'll send one back to the point, into the corner now. And they will go to work yet again, but now it's Cory Hawkinson, shorthanded, going into the Tennessee zone. Pulls up, turns around, goes back down to the goal line. He's watched here by all 5 Volunteers. Tries to turn around there. Wraparound attempt. Stackhouse with an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. Ryan Mcgowan and Siegfried again. Unsportsmanlike conduct to both of them. Sounds like they're having some trouble with that one. As this one shoveled out high glass towards center ice. Minute 20 to go on this power play. Off the skate of the forechecking Hawkinson. Held in at the line there by Chad Lazine. And now racing back with some speed now. Volunteers, quick shot in the slot. Save made by Gormley. The rebound sprawling out to his right. He never even had to make a save. Jackal with a brilliant block there. That's the kind of play you like to see, especially as a goaltender. You're up 10-1. Most of the time the players say, hey, this one's pretty much over. But as a goaltender, you still care about how many times you stop the puck. Would have been an open net and a pretty big opportunity for Tennessee there. And Hunter Jackal able to put his body on the line there. And that's what you got to do. If you're a practice squad guy, you come in, you make some noise, make some solid defensive plays, and it helps when, as a defenseman, you're able to score a goal and 2 assists. 24 seconds left on Mcgowan's minor for unsportsmanlike conduct. He may have to serve some additional time. So the puck played back in behind the Tennessee net. They'll try to get one last rush here on this power play. Really just a tale of 2 hockey games here. Sent all the way back down, icing waved off. Out of the boxes, Mcgowan. Siegfried will stay in and now come out because conveniently time has expired. Not time has expired. Play has been stopped here right as the penalties end. So when you've got offsetting minors and you're skating 5-on-5, you can't let those players out of the box at 5-on-5 because then you'd be playing 6-on-6. So they have to stay in until the next stoppage of play. Tennessee now 0 for 7 on the power play. Offensive zone opportunity won by South Carolina. Puck rimmed around to the near side boards. Racing back to play this one, Ryan Mcgowan, as we are inside 5 minutes left in this third period. Roodman in behind the goal. That puck pops off his stick. Comes down and settled now on the tape of Colton Banville. Banville gathers speed into the South Carolina zone, away from Mcgowan and Oakley. Banville tangles with Oakley there. Mcgowan gets it into the corner, and now out Chad Lazine, left side. 2-on-1 develops. Lazine shoots one. He scores! Chad Lazine, first as a Gamecock. 11-1 South Carolina. Down the left wing, Lazine just picks his spot under the glove, over the pad. Goal number 1 for Chad. .420 to go. 11-1 South Carolina, their highest scoring game this season. Should be their highest margin of victory, unless Tennessee rallies late here. Drifting back, the puck now taken. Josh Main loose in front. The Gamecocks have it. Into the slot now, Ronan Egan. Curls back towards the blue line, and he elects to just skate this one all the way back out into his own zone. Send it free for Burke. Hammered back in by Ben Smith. And in behind the goal of Maples. Roodman and Mcgowan get the assists on Lazine's first goal here at the University of South Carolina. Ben Smith on the ice right now, another Gamecock looking for his first goal of the year. Ronan Egan tries to protect that puck, but the Volunteers take it away from him. Solid play there by Blake Sledge. It bounces from Gamecock to Volunteer for a few moments here. And now finally played back where Ben Smith can control, kind of filling in on defense for Colin Burke. He's able to kick it free. Now for Hunter Jackal, miscommunication there. Julian Reese sidesteps a man, finds Owen Thomas. Left wing, Thomas drops it off, intended for Julian Reese. Broken up there by the Volunteers, and now it is Sledge to the near side. Taken away, worked back free by Justin Stackhouse. And in the Tennessee zone, Michael Czar will work things out slowly. D2D, the Gamecocks work at Caleca. Intended there for Mike Bolger. Off the turnover here, Volunteers have it. They'll send one into the slot, rejected there by Caleca. Shot wide off of the secondary opportunity from Sean Nolan. Back out to the point now, Volunteers have it. Sent on goal, nice block in the slot by Caleca. Another guy that's seen an extended amount of ice time in the absence of Avery Pruden. Now Caleca sends one on goal. Maples makes the save. May have caught him in the mask and the neck protector there. He shakes his mask off. Yeah, that caught a buckle. Unshaken is Maples. He'll tend to his mask. With 2:25 to go in this third period. South Carolina will total 13 goals as they make their way out of Knoxville. So a long time on the road for the Gamecocks. They haven't been at home in a little while, as that shot in and out of the glove there of Liam Gormley. A hit in the corner there from Ryan Mcgowan. And now he's lined up, and he'll be double hit there in front of the penalty box, kind of thrown back and forth. If there's anybody in white that the Gamecocks are, wow, what a big save there by Maples. Ryan Mcgowan certainly the target. Public enemy number one here for the Volunteers, and a big save by Maples right around in front. Able to deny Rob Lawrence. As now Matt Owen sweeps this one back for Tyler Oakley. Across now for Mcgowan. That puck too far for him. Racing back is Siegfried, one of the multiple New York players for South Carolina. Again, we said only 2 players for the Gamecocks actually from the state of South Carolina. Siegfried, along with Nick Peters, are from Buffalo. Cam Mecca out of Rome, New York, and now stealing this puck is Cory Hawkinson, one of the South Carolina players. Now it's center ice off the turnover is King. Long shot save made by Gormley. He's able to shrug it off with the left shoulder. Rebound settled down by Hunter Jackal, sent up and out. A little bit of confusion here as to where that puck landed. Julian Reese and Matt Owen among the other New York Gamecocks. Reese out of Manhattan, Matt Owen out of Brooklyn. Some other notable Gamecocks to have played out of the great state of New York. You may have heard of him, Brian Soar. Career penalty leader for South Carolina. Had 72 of them last season, now a jam play in front. Tennessee celebrating as though they've scored. But the puck, as we see now underneath the pad of Liam Gormley. Score will remain 11-1. So quite a few penalty minutes in this one. Not quite as many as last night. Again, 45 last night, though. If Soar had still been playing for South Carolina, could have been up in the 64-74 range. It is not unheard of for Brian Soar to amass 20 penalty minutes in a game. He did it multiple times, and in Brian Soar fashion, he was ejected from his last game in a Gamecock uniform. And we were actually talking to him after that game, and we were not apologizing, but just saying we were sorry he got kicked out of his last game. And he said, no, that's how I want to go out. So a shot up there by Cory Hawkinson goes off the crossbar. Brian Soar knows his brand. He was able to come back down. It was Parents' Weekend a few weeks ago. He was returning to South Carolina, hanging out with some of his former teammates. Jake Tenji came back for that one. Nick Nards-Licko. Some notable faces around the Gamecock locker room. And Julian Reese asking me to say hello to his mother right now. So, Mrs. Reese, how are you doing? It's great being, and Mike Bolger. To Mike Bolger's parents, how are you doing? Anybody else? Owen Thomas says hi to his parents, as does Ian Powderly. So, from the whole team, hello to all the parents. One of the many perks of sitting in behind the Gamecock bench, just about 4 rows up. Out of all the places the Gamecocks have played here, the Knoxville Coliseum, certainly one of the nicer ones. A nice move there by Rob Lawrence. I would say, as this one shot by Lawrence, save made by Maple. Second only to the Bon Secours Wellness Arena, home of the Greenville Swamp Rabbits, and sometimes home of the Clemson Tigers. So as time expires, clock hits zeros. Gamecocks get out of Knoxville with the split, and there's more. We thought we were done. A scrum after the whistle has sounded. Rob Lawrence having he pulled off of one of the Volunteers. Somebody's lost a helmet. This time it's not Matt Owen, though Matt Owen is on the ice. We'll keep you updated as this one gets sorted out. The unaccompanied Gamecocks, the mass of the team has gathered there at center ice. They're waiting patiently on their side of the blue line. Rob Lawrence being escorted back to the arms of his teammates, and I can't imagine we'll have a handshake after this one. Although both clubs are lining up. We'll stay on the air for a little while longer. The game is over. South Carolina has won 11-1. The shots through 60 minutes, 46-34. Both teams going through the handshake lines right now. Gamecocks right to left, Tennessee left to right. Garnet and Orange coming together. The Tennessee player, I did not get a chance to see who it was. He's put his helmet back on, so I can't identify him. I'm going to keep an eye on Rob Lawrence here. He's gone through the handshake line, and you know, in the heat of battle, these things happen. Oh, they've got it. Lawrence with a handshake there. It was Michael Curtis. It was a little bit of a tense moment there. Lawrence against Curtis in the handshake line, but I think there was a mutual understanding there that that's just kind of the way things go. The frustration of losing 11-1 after the frustration of losing 6-2 for South Carolina. Mutual understanding between hockey players. So that is that. Gamecocks get the split. They improve to 8-1 on the season. Final score from Knoxville, South Carolina 11, University of Tennessee 1. Thanks so much for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. The Gamecocks are back in action on November the 1st at home against Clemson. If you can't be there, be here. And by here, I mean YouTube. Listen to the game. We'll have all the coverage, some player interviews for you, and it is certainly going to be a good one. But that'll wrap it up from Knoxville. So for all of us at the Capital City Sports Network, my name is Dillon Clark. Good night, Carolina, and forever to thee.